you could start the clock over. Ms. Goldfuss, you said that your revised draft guidance, quote, is not a rule or regulation and is not legally enforceable, unquote. So you have no legal authority to impose your guidance on other federal agencies, but you are doing so anyway. It sounds to me like you've been learning at the feet of President Obama, who is taking action by executive order using his pen and his phone, whether, in my belief, he has the legal authority or not. Okay, Dr. Christie, I have a couple questions for you. In your testimony, you state, quote, because changes in the emissions of our entire country would have such a tiny calculated impact on global climate, it is obvious that single projects or even entire sectors of the economy would produce imperceptible impacts, unquote. In light of this, is the CEQ guidance well advised?
Oh, I don't think so. Excuse me. I look at it from a scientific perspective as a working stiff scientist, and the fundamental thing here is that there is no proof that these emissions cause specific things you see in climate. So how can one link a cause to an effect here? Because there is no proof of it. I build those climate data sets. It's not there.
If all of the climate models that Ms. Goldfuss and others do adhere to were correct, are you still saying that a single country or a single project within a country, like a particular electrical generating coal-fired power plant, is going to have an imperceptible, maybe even an immeasurable impact? Is that correct?
That's correct. The emissions globally are so large compared to what a country has or what a single project would have, you would be spitting in the ocean, is what you'd be doing.
Thank you. Now, you say in your testimony also that, quote, greenhouse gas emissions cannot be used as a proxy for alleged climate change because our capability to demonstrate how greenhouse gases influence the already observed climate is so poor, unquote. Could you elaborate on that, please?
As I showed in my chart, none of the climate models is able to reproduce the most simple of metrics, the global atmospheric temperature over the past 36 years. This is a period in which we've had satellite information to show and also independent balloon information. What has happened in the real world is not produced by these models that have a greenhouse gas effect in them. So we don't know what the effect of greenhouse gases are to the climate.
Is it scientific for someone to say that a particular climate event, like a drought in the West or wildfires resulting from a drought, can be attributable to human climate actions?
Well, two quick things. That's not provable. One cannot prove that. And second of all, if you look at the charts I included in the testimony, drought around the world is not increasing. So we have no link in terms of global drought versus global emissions.
What about severe events like hurricanes?
There is no increase in hurricanes. We've monitored them for 150 years. There is no increase in intensity or severity of hurricanes. So there is no link there.
So if someone stands up in Congress, for instance, and says a hurricane was caused by human climate action, is that scientific or not?
That is not scientific.
Okay, thank you. Now, your testimony suggests that climate models are not useful tools for prediction. Why is that, and are there better tools?
Well, the simple answer to that is, can they reproduce the past first? That should be a simple test. Can you reproduce what has already happened? And as I demonstrated in the testimony, the climate models have been unable to reproduce what has actually happened in the past. I would not claim that I would have confidence in them to tell us what would happen in the future.
So what would be a better model?
I think the better model is look at the real world as it's going on. And that's what we do in observational science. I mean, I built my first climate data set when I was 50 years ago, before NEPA. And so we can